Welcome back to RBP. I am Ross Bolen here with my co-host Jared Borislow, a.k.a. Jandolph the Gray. Jared, I desperately miss the beach. I don't know if my skin color is giving that off yet as a vibe. Yours is, for sure.
Okay, it's uncalled for, but...
Which one of us is whiter, you or me?
Well, what part of the body?
Exposed forearm.
You. Because you, it's summer... And was it summer now?
It's not summer.
Whatever. It's almost summer, and
It's
you're wearing
April.
long sleeves.
It is but spring. When does summer start officially?
420.
That's just not true.
Yeah, you're right.
It's just absolutely not true. It's June 20th.
That's far away.
It's a little bit later than most people think. Most people think, if you're in June, you're in the summer, surely. No, you're not.
Why would they call them
know
Shirley?
shit.
Why would they call them Shirley, Ross?
Don't call me Shirley, Jared.
Shirley Temple.
But I miss the beach a lot. I really do. I haven't been to the beach in a few years now, and the beach is kind of like my boo thing. I live for the ocean. I'm a water boy. Has anybody ever told you you don't have the body of a swimmer?
No.
No.
I've never been judged in that lens before.
You have been now. I'm not saying you're not like a sexy man. You are. You're very attractive. I wish I could take you out back right now and spank your tight little ass. I'm saying you don't look like you could swim for shit, though. Like you'd sink like a damn stone shaped like a potato covered in fur. Not that there's anything wrong with that.
I'm from Florida. You kind of have to learn to swim there. It's sink or swim, literally, in Florida, because there's a lot of water.
So did you do a lot of swimming growing up?
I did, yeah. I actually, fun fact, you're not gonna like this. I used to be a diver, like Olympic diving.
Uh-huh.
But this is when I was like 4.
But at the non-Olympic level.
Yeah, at the 4-year-old level, I actually could do. The reason why my mom got me into it is because I would do backflips into our pool, not off a diving board, off of like.
Were
stone.
you backflip guy?
I was backflip kid.
You know how every group of friends had one of the kids was like just couldn't stop doing backflips? That was you?
Well, I did backflips into the pool, and I did front flips on the trampoline. This is an
athlete.
Get ready for this story. Dumbest thing I ever did for my body, which may have had ramifications to this day.
Still probably not true. I can't wait to hear this.
Which is maybe why I needed this physical therapy I'm doing right now for my right shoulder. One day, when I was probably in like 4th or 5th grade,
Okay.
I decided, you know what? I got nothing to do tonight. I'm going to do 100 front flips on the trampoline in one day.
Okay. So you counted to 100 and you did 100 front flips?
Not only that, it had to be a perfect front flip. So if I ever like missed my landing a little bit or like stumbled or like stutter stepped,
Did you have like some buddies over?
Yeah, it was all of us on the trampoline together, and they just watched me.
You weren't alone, just to be clear.
No. I had like 3 people watching me. They were flipping with me, but not doing a hundo.
You mean 3 people watching you? You don't mean like your neighbors, like they were older and like it was creepy? You mean like your friends that were over at your house to play, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was at their house. They had the trampoline. We weren't the trampoline family.
Okay, you weren't even trampoline family, so this isn't even your trampoline. You're doing 100 on a stranger's tramp.
That's not a stranger. It's our friends across the street. But
oh man, that's like, like you can pet my dog. If you just come over and like suddenly you're taking my dog on a walk for an hour and a half, it's like, whoa, what the fuck? This is kind of weird. You're doing 100 backflips on my trampoline, bro? Next thing I know, you're mowing my lawn and banging my wife.
Well, they were front flips. I think that changes it a little bit.
Front, back, side to side. Who gives a shit? Let's get nasty.
I wish I could do the side flips. What are those called? Aerials?
In the sky?
Yeah.
Yeah. Shouts to Sode. System of a Down.
Oh, yeah.
We may have a member of their band on soon. Spoiler teaser. What's that combined? Spoiler and a teaser at the same time.
It's a slap and a tickle.
It's slap and tickle. A little slap and tickle. What were we talking about? Swimming in the ocean.
You said I was a bad swimmer.
You were actually a diver, though, as a 4-year-old, it turns out.
And then I quit. Here's why I quit. I was crushing it off like the 10-foot diving board,
Mm-hmm.
and they were like, hey, go to the big one.
Oh, you couldn't do the high dive.
I looked down, and I was like, this ain't it. It wasn't it, to be clear.
We had an Olympic diver on OCC once.
Yeah, Cassidy Cook.
Yeah, Cassidy Cook.
Shouts to her.
Dear friend of the company, Bolen Media, I would say, is a fair assessment. I'm speaking for her here, Cassidy. Olympic representative of the United States of America in the diving category, but I'm pretty sure she would consider herself to be a friend of the company in general. Huzzah. Therefore, ipso facto, what I'm saying is we are an Olympic podcast now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, I miss the beach, the sand between my toes, the occasional MILF in a thong. Even more entertaining, watching the absurdly out-of-shape, borderline morbidly obese white boomers sexually assault every single person that passes with their eyes.
Yeah. It's rough.
I don't know what happened there culturally, but dudes are just so shameless, man. And it's like it won't even. The Americans aren't even the worst somehow in this book either. You know who I'm talking about, Europeans. You people across the pond. You need even more of a long weekend in horny jail than we do. So bonk on you.
There's also one other group. I believe it is Copacabana in Rio de Janeiro. That song by Barry Manilow or Rod Stewart, I get them confused because they look similar.
Okay.
That song definitely is part of the reason why boomers are like this, I think.
I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not familiar with the either or any song called Copacabana.
Oh, actually, I have it on the soundboard. I'm not kidding.
Just fire it up. Let's listen to Copacabana. No, I'm just kidding. You don't.
You come in my face, I'm gonna fight you.
I don't think that was the track.
Sorry, I got my wires crossed.
Oh, whoops. Back to you, Jared. Back to you, Jared. Yeah, you like that? Little double up. Anyway, it weirds me out. Dudes on the beach are like another level of just horny, slovenly shittiness. It's like just laying there, just like, oh, yeah. Like you're next to your wife, fatty. Keep it in your pants. Go back to sleep. Roll over. Have another fucking rum runner.
Is that a drink?
Yeah, it's got to be. I feel like I ordered that a bunch.
I like the Miami Vice, the strawberry daiquiri mixed with the pina colada.
I loved all that shit, bro. Beach drinks, probably the worst thing for you hangover-wise. Didn't care. Beautiful. Colorful.
Ross?
Tall, usually.
Very tall. The
Get you
grenades.
stupid drunk.
What was that? Senor Frogs. Hey, do you think there's actually a Senor Frog? Or do you think they made him up to make the bar, you know?
I got a Senor Frog story for y'all one day that is going to fucking melt brains.
Really?
I can't tell it for like another 40 years, though.
Do you
at
think
least.
do you think Senor Frog is related to Kermit? Like
It's his degenerate cousin.
You got one who's on, what is it, the Muppets? Is he a Muppet?
Yeah, he's a Muppet.
You got one who's like family friendly on the Muppets, and then you got his cousin, Senor Frog. He's just getting college kids fucking trashed.
Dude, there's something about that concept of like Muppets gone wrong that's incredible. Like Chappelle played with it, Family Guy played with it some. They used to do like Bert and Ernie were a gay couple. You remember that? Bert and Ernie were a gay couple and one of them's a cop.
Yep. And Cookie Monster was addicted to cookie dough.
Monsters in rehab for cookie dough, bro. Yeah, they made all that shit real as hell.
That was Sesame Street though, right?
That was Sesame Street. You're right. Those are different things. The Muppets and Sesame Street, they're not the same.
Yeah.
They're not.
And then there was what they did to who's the count?
Mr. Potato Head.
The count, right?
They took his dingus.
They did take Mr. Potato.
They really did just make that a potato head now. It's no longer sex.
Mm-hmm.
Which whatever. It was just a potato toy before to me. You know, I was never really like, it's important to me that it's a mister. I didn't care.
The count from Sesame Street, you know, 1 They
2 bananas. Yeah, I remember him.
They took
Taught
him
me how to count.
He did. They made him dirty. Did you know that?
What do you mean they made him dirty?
Now he's Count Cocula.
Please clap.
Yeah. Anyway, those dudes on the beach are creepy. The sound of the seagulls, that's another thing I miss.
You like that?
Yes. It's one of the things I like about Austin, in fact, is that on occasion we get seabirds up around here. I think because of the lakes. And they caw different. It makes me feel at peace.
Okay, can I give you a story?
Sure.
I was on your back patio the other day.
Did you kill a bird with your bare hands and eat it?
No,
Ozzy.
I had a neighbor who used to do that, but
Okay.
it's another story for another time.
We got lots of those.
We do. Maybe one day on Patreon we'll do stories we alluded to but never told on the actual podcast.
That's the next episode on Patreon.
So I was on your back patio.
It's not. I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
And I heard seagulls behind your house. So the instant thought is this: you go, okay, we're not by the sea, so why could that be the case? And then I immediately thought, okay, either there's a dump behind your house, which is the other place you see seagulls, or a dead body. Seagulls are only either around bodies of water, salty ones,
Or bodies of human.
bodies of human, or bodies of trash.
Wait, seagulls that go after the body of a human, though?
You have not lived in Florida, sir.
Damn, y'all have fucked up seagulls in Florida, too, man. All the bath salts.
Sometimes they murder the person on the beach. Yeah.
Okay, I've seen some of the footage, though, of, like, the dumbass who's like, watch this, I'm going to go feed him a french fry. And they don't know, like, the Florida seagulls are on bath salts, and they will literally rip your face off. And then and it's funny at first, the wife filming, look, honey, look, and he gets swarmed, and she's laughing. She's like, oh God, we're gonna go viral. And then the seagulls disappear, and his fucking face is gone
We've all seen that happen.
because they took it.
You want to know an urban legend?
Huh?
From Shouts to Clearwater Beach, Florida.
Shouts.
There's an urban legend that there was a 75-year-old man who fell asleep on the beach. He's chilling. He was well sunscreened up. He easily could have slept for 2 hours, been fine.
Okay.
He was relaxing, as many people do in the Florida beaches.
Sure.
The legend is that some shithead high schoolers went out there, covered him in Cheez-Its, and then the seagulls picked him skin from bone.
Damn, son, that's dark as fuck.
Yeah, dude.
Y'all tell stories to your children in Florida like they do in Game of Thrones.
Yeah, those are really bad stories.
There were spiders, big as hounds. That's Game of Thrones. And then in Florida, it's that.
There were seagulls.
Picked him clean. Building sandcastles on the beach. I love doing that, watching the tide come in and destroy them. Pretending I can hear the citizens of my sandtown drowning.
Nobody does that.
What? The sunset on the water? It's beautiful. Snorkeling with the fish and the turtles and the Steve Irwin killers. Getting way too drunk and trying to make friends with the locals who are disgusted by my very presence.
Can I tell you another little anecdote?
Yeah.
You're just like, because I'm from Florida, you're bringing up so many anecdotes of my life. I was stung by a Steve Irwin killer. Not saying I'm stronger than Steve Irwin. He was stung in the heart. I was stung in the foot. But I was
Slight difference.
I was stung by a stingray, and it hurt like a motherfucker. And I have a lot of advice to give on this topic.
Oddly enough, I do too. I've been to a place called Stingray City in the Cayman Islands probably 7 or 8 times and swam with the Steve Irwin killers, and I found them to be loving, affectionate creatures that just need to be regarded with respect in order to avoid disaster.
I wouldn't. No. You hung out with the essentially like the Shamu version of stingrays who get fed by people and love people because like, oh, food, I don't have to hunt. I'm talking Florida beach stingrays, which are everywhere. First off, the stingray shuffle is not a myth. Are you familiar with the stingray shuffle?
Well, you keep your feet on the ground so you don't step on the stingray barb and get your shit rocked.
Yeah, and so the vibrations that your feet make when you're shuffling scare them away,
Yeah.
right? I always stingray shuffle because my friend got stung by a stingray. He's like, yeah, it really hurts. So I was like, I don't want that, right?
Fuck that.
I
Looks like
never
it would hurt like hell. Also, Steve Irwin died.
You got stung straight
Right,
through the
barb
heart.
straight through the fucking heart, bro.
I still can't believe that happened.
It still sounds like people are like, Epstein didn't kill himself. I'm like, no, a stingray didn't kill Steve Irwin. That sounds unbelievable.
You think it was Jeff Corwin?
That's the working theory that Q is feeding us currently.
Yeah. So here's the deal. I was floating on my back, and I was like, okay, I'm ready to go on my feet now because I was chilling on my back and like, can't fling your back in the ocean that long. You never know if a shark's going to get you, what the deal is.
Oh, you couldn't transfer, though.
I went down on my feet, stepped immediately on a stingray, and then
Did it pierce, or did you just get like a...
the barb
Yeah.
did not get stuck, but it did go clean in and out. I think it was the bottom of my foot, right foot, like in instep. And when it happened, I was like, okay, that hurt really bad, but it felt like I stepped on like a really, really sharp stone, right? Like that cut me open.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, you know what? It hurt really bad, but like it's over now, and like everything's kind of fine, and it's kind of a cool story. I got stung by a stingray. I've always been team content. I was like 16 at the time.
Sure.
But then what they tell you about, but you can't really understand until it happens, is the venom. It's very real, Ross. Very, 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 very real.
Was it in a painful sense, or like your leg went and turned purple sense or something?
Painful sense. So my leg didn't turn purple, but where the venom was in my foot, top 5 pains I've been in my life. I was screaming in agony. It was in my friend's condo.
Yeah.
Just screaming, going, the stingray.
It fucking hurts so bad. Stop it, Mom.
They
Make
tell
it
you.
stop.
They tell you to do this. They say
Pissing all over your foot.
no, that's for jellyfish. You don't pee on my foot unless I pay for it or unless I get stung by a jellyfish.
He doesn't know.
So what they tell you to do is you put your foot in literally the hottest water you can handle. And I don't mean like a hot tub where it's like, ooh, the hot tub. I didn't mean to say hot tub, the actual hot tub, but a hot tub, a tub that's hot.
Sure.
You know how like when
This
there's
has
like
become confusing.
You know how there's like a hot tub and you put your foot in, you're like, that's really hot right now, but I know if I ease into it, it'll be fine in like 10 minutes.
Okay, so just it was very, very, very hot, not casually hot that would feel good eventually. That's what
Yes,
you want us to
exactly.
understand about it? Okay.
It needs to be the hottest you can have without actually scalding your skin, because I was doing the pussy way about it. I was having like pretty hot water, but like by no means was it too hot. And I was like, why does my foot hurt so bad? I'm doing the hot water thing. And they were like, dude, we're boiling some fucking water for you. And they boiled the water and then poured it in there and like let it cool down for like 30 seconds. And,
30 seconds?
and then I stuck my foot in there.
That's not right. Do not listen to this man. Please don't boil water and then put your foot in 30 seconds later.
Well, in
that
a
can't
tub,
be right.
that gets warmer.
That's how the seagulls pick your foot clean.
You do not.
Because after that, you got to tell people that's what happened. Because if you told them what you really did, they'd think you were an idiot.
That solved it totally. All the pain I felt in my foot went away the second I put my foot in the really, really, really hot water.
Machete.
No, but
That would solve the pain.
let me clarify. You do not put your foot in boiling water. J-Bone says
What Jared is saying.
don't put your foot in boiling water.
and just go ahead and make that an individual clip that you put out on social media. It's Jared saying to put your foot in boiling water 30 seconds after it's been finished boiling. 30 seconds, he says.
I said you pour it into the bathtub, which already has water
He
in
said
it.
count to 30 slowly. 30 seconds.
No.
Yeah.
You make sure you can handle it and it won't scald you, but then when it's as hot as you can have without burning you, you put your foot in, it solves it, makes it a lot better.
This was how to semi-recover from a stingray bite sting with Jared Borislow.
I've been there. I've done that.
Noted 30-second foot boiler boy. Back to you, Jared.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I can't believe you've actually been stung by a stingray, though.
I got stung by a jellyfish too.
And to be clear, many people have been. You're not special. To be clear, I was not swimming in a Shamu-esque situation. This was open ocean water at Stingray City in the Cayman Islands, which it sounds like it would be something that was a Shamu situation. It was not. But now that I've been thinking about it for a few minutes, it's still definitely like a strange situation that I'm not sure how PETA feels about it. You know? They're like denaturalizing the stingray environment by feeding them in these specific areas that the humans gather so that they can be petted and such. But I got a bunch of pictures with stingrays from like age 3. I mean like holding them.
Yeah.
Age 3 to like 16.
Did you grow up with the stingrays?
A lot of people have claimed I was raised by stingrays in the same way that like Mowgli from Jungle Book was raised by wolves.
Well, he wasn't raised by a warthog.
That's the Lion King, you horse's ass.
What? Pumbaa?
Jungle Book?
Pumbaa?
Mowgli. Pumbaa and Timon are characters in The Lion King.
Oh.
Fucking Jared.
Which one has the fantastic Mr. Fox?
Son of a bitch. What? Anyway, what are your favorite beach activities, jackass?
I'm actually a big spike ball fan.
I like spike ball. I like paying $150 for 20 minutes on a jet ski, too. I think y'all invented that in Florida. I think you guys invented that one.
Why is it so expensive? It only costs the price of gas.
Why do we all pay it? Everybody goes up to that thing and goes, yo, that's an outrageous price. And the dude goes, I know. And then you pay it and you go ride the jet ski. That's the business they set up there.
And half of the time you spend getting it onto and off of the beach. Or else they're going to charge you another 20 minutes.
And they're fucking dead ass with it, too. They stand there, like, watching the clock with a megaphone, like, get your ass back in here. It's going to take you at least 6 minutes to get here, and you're sick. Like, yeah, it's fucked up over there.
They're pretty fun, though. We had a jet ski. No, sorry.
Oh, jet skiing rules.
Did you know there's a difference between jet skis and wave runners?
I did. I don't know the difference, but I did know there was one, and I feel like I'm upsetting Kenny Powers when I don't refer to it correctly.
Jet ski is stand up. Wave runner is sit down.
So I've always been saying it wrong my whole
You've
life.
probably never done a jet ski. Most people haven't.
I haven't.
Unless you've been like on an 80s Coke binge. You probably haven't. Or you were in an Uncle Luke video. Uncle Luke loved jet skis.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't done either of those things. Like in that time period you know what I'm saying. Campbell. What else do you like about the beach?
Oh, yeah. Paddleball. Paddleball is fun. That's where you try to keep the ball up in the air with the paddle and the ball.
You're not a sandcastle guy?
No.
Why not?
It's a waste of time. Actually,
Wow.
big Florida thing. I used to do search for shark's teeth on the beach a lot. A lot. Fossilized shark's teeth.
I did that some. Shark's teeth searches in Galveston on the quote-unquote beach of Galveston. I don't know if you've ever been to Galveston, Jared. Have you been to Galveston, Texas?
Been to South Padre. Is it kind of like that?
Nope. I would say Padre is significantly more appealing in terms of beach, unfortunately. Now, the people at the beach in Padre may be worse, but the beach itself in Galveston is somehow more disgusting and off-putting and downright upsetting in some cases. Some points during my childhood when I would go there was no sand to be seen, simply black seaweed. Seaweed is not supposed to be black, by the way. That's what the Gulf of Mexico does to it when you dump oil and shit into it for 150 years. So, yeah, Galveston's awful. But, you know, the town itself is kick-ass. Just the beach fucking sucks. I don't know how to justify that to the good people of Galveston, but your beach fucking sucks. I've been to a lot of beaches, and it's by far the worst beach I've ever been to. By far, 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 far.
Yeah, considering their beach gets washed away every single hurricane, like I can't really blame them too much for that.
They have been so boned. There's a literal seawall. They had to build like a 20-foot concrete goddamn wall right off the beach, which makes it all the more attractive.
Yeah, it's like the entrance to Bravos.
Bro, it is. And it's because at some point, like 150 years ago, one of those hit, and it literally destroyed what was there and killed hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people. Like, they had to start the fuck over. And you
They probably shouldn't have,
you don't
to
want
be
that.
fair. Like,
or just move, like, further in. I don't know if they knew this or anybody knows this, but, like, Texas has a shit ton of open room down here. We got a lot of space. Top left. Head to the top left. Everybody that's here in our area currently go top left corner. Y'all are good up there. There's like some panhandle to the right of that, but top left, you're going to have all kinds of fun.
yeah, well,
You're really going to love it up there.
if they figured out the water issue, there's like a piece of land the size of Texas, essentially, like around the Texas area that is uninhabited, essentially. But there's just not really a lot of water.
Sure.
They should just bust it in. Pipe it in and turn the oil pipeline into a water pipeline.
Pray for it. Top left, say get some water prayers up, and you'll be fine.
Get a rain stick.
Pussy. Next segment. Two very different therapy stories. All I was trying to say with that is I could use a beach vacation. That was the entire start of the show. Jared, you started physical therapy this week.
Yes.
Jared, what part of your body did you do physical therapy on?
It's my right arm, specifically my right shoulder and kind of my elbow.
And Mr. Borislow, how did you injure your right side of your upper arm, we'll say?
Playing disc golf and regular golf. Pretty much all the activities I do involve my right shoulder.
Interesting. So disc golf and regular golf is the claim that you're making now.
Mostly disc golf, yeah.
Mostly disc golf. Now, when you were explaining this to me yesterday, you were speaking on the fact that like you're not a big workout guy.
Nope.
Like the physical therapy yesterday, would you say it was the hardest workout you've done in some time?
Yep.
Because physical therapy is basically a workout. That's what physical therapy is. You go and then they teach you how to work out the area of your body that needs to be physically, therapeutically made love to. And
pretty much what they told me was that it's like, okay, yeah, like your all those muscles are pretty messed up because you never used them except when you were playing disc golf. And so you just kind of like injured them. And now they're all kinds of like messed up.
So when they say those muscles, they mean just your body though, right? Like you're just body. You failed to use it. And then you started playing disc golf out the ass like at the age of 25. And then your body was like, what's happening here? We don't have the structure for this, right?
Well, I played a lot of golf, which my body could handle because it's kind of a two-arm thing. But then I put all of that power into one arm. My body's like, nah, we can't really make that happen. So I was fine for like a year and a half of it.
Of disc golf?
Pretty much 2 years, really.
But then because that was the only thing you were doing, you worked yourself into a shoulder tizzy.
Yeah, it's bad. I haven't really been able to play. It's been very sad. Shouts to all the disc golfers. Every time I talk about disc golf on the podcast, I have like literally single digits.
Literally dozens of you.
People be like, yo, dude, thanks for spreading the word of disc golf. I told you this before. I'm one of like less than 10 verified Twitter people who plays disc golf.
You're an influencer in the disc golf community. Known it is. But being in physical therapy for a disc golf injury is the most hipster shit I've ever heard in my life. And it's one of the funniest things in the now storied history of Jared Borislow.
I don't know where you got Borislow from, but
I went forward one letter from B to C. You were looking at it as a K?
Yeah.
Nah, it was a C in my head. Speaking of therapy, I went to therapy yesterday. It It wasn't physical. It was mental. I hurt my brain. Shouts to Kenny Powers again. And here was the thing, though. Like, I've been to therapy a lot. People know this about me. I've talked about mental health a lot on the show. I've been experiencing panic attacks since I was 21. I'm 33 now. So it's very much a part of my life that I take seriously. I've never done this, though. My therapist had me address my 16-year-old self. It was weird. She's basically like, close your eyes, roll your eyes back into your head, like, you know, if you were trying to fall asleep almost.
Wait, roll your eyes into the back of your head
Like-
right now.
And then, like, look down into yourself and tell me what's there. And don't do this right now. It's not a good idea, especially if you're unprepared. But so I did this, and she basically had me like, wait, you just imagine. That's it. Like, you imagine the 16-year-old version of me is what I had to imagine for my own purposes. Like, 16 is when I endured some stuff that stuck with me.
Did you imagine dragons?
I did, and also Pokemon. And Dragonite. I spent some time with this dude, and it was strange because I hadn't thought about that kid in a really long time. Like, the 16-year-old version of me is now 17 years old. Like, 17 years have passed since I was that age, I think, that I'm doing that math right. And so what I'm saying, I've lived longer now since I was 16 than before to obviously up to 16 years old. So, like, I've lived a longer lifetime since then. And at that point, I thought I knew a lot, like, for my age. And spending time with 16-year-old Ross yesterday was bizarre. Like, I didn't know shit. And one of the things that hit me immediately was like, one of the worst haircuts anyone has ever had. Like, I'm not just saying that. Like, yo, man, you should have seen my hair in high school. It was so bad. Like, no. Everybody who had bad hair at my high school felt better because they knew I existed. Like, they went home at night and, like, somebody made fun of their hair and they were like, at least I'm not Ross. Like, that dude's hair sucks.
What was so bad?
Okay, so it started as like a bowl cut, just like, you know, I went to like Great Clips and they were like, get out of here, Whitey. And then at some point I was like, became like a stoner thing where I was like, I'm just not gonna cut my hair anymore. And so it grew out, but with no style or grooming or like any kind of care given to it at all. And my hair is pretty straight. And so it just would go straight down. Like, it'd be like if I like fixed my hair right now, made it like this, and then it grew to here. And then you made that everywhere around my whole head, bro. I looked like a fucking idiot. In my prom photo with one of my best friends of my life, Megan, you can't see my eyes, man. My eyes aren't in the photo because my hair is hanging down over them.
Maybe what your eyes were doing in the photo, you were rolling your eyes into the back of your head and looking at 2-year-old Ross.
I thought I was looking at 33-year-old Ross.
Oh, talking to me. Maybe he's in the corner of the room looking down at us now.
Time is a flat circle, dude.
Hey, you grew up to be a huge bitch.
The more Rick and Morty I've watched, the more I like parts of that theory about life. Like, things are all happening at the same time.
The multiverse?
You can't discern it that way with your tiny human brain. I can't either.
With
my tiny dog brain. I don't know. I truly don't. But anyway, I spent time with 16-year-old Ross. Like, this is pre-mugshot, pre any type of arrest, pre any probation. Just the dude who was, trying to figure out what the hell in high school, which is one of the more confusing, ridiculous time periods. Puberty, the first taste of the real world that you really get in my situation anyway, especially having gone to private school for like through 8th grade. High school was some real shit, but it was a bowl shag mop, like down past my eyes haircut. My high school baseball coaches, in hindsight, had absolutely every right to fry my ass until I quit. Like,
that bad?
Yeah, natural God-given laser arm be damned. I needed to be reined in. Like, somebody needed to get me I needed to get smacked down.
Your haircut was so bad, you're okay with adults having made your self-confidence so low on the baseball team that you quit?
No, they made me quit because I wouldn't cut my hair. Like they were like, you can either cut your hair or you're not on the team anymore.
They did not say that to you. There's no way they said that to you.
Yeah, they did. So I went and cut my hair, and I came back the next day, and they were like, that's not short enough. Go get your hair cut or you're off the team. And I said, fuck you, I quit. Swear to God. It's a real story. I've told it on the show long before this. Documented on the record.
That's unbelievable.
Swear to God. Then one of the assistant coaches took me out to the field and made me walk around it with him while he tried to talk me into not quitting. He was like, think about all the hard work you've done out here. And I was like, what? He's like, remember all the fun you've had with your teammates. And I was like, you guys suck. This has been awful. All you do is make us run and work out. I fucking hate it here. I'm going to go smoke weed and cigarettes with my friend and eat trash junk food for the next 14 years. Fuck you, guy. Thanks a lot, coach. Anyway, one of my high school coaches was awesome. I'm not going to say his name, but he's a principal now. And he hollered at me recently. And I was like, you got to come on the show. It'd be so funny to talk about high school baseball with you and like how you're a principal now, et cetera, et cetera. And he was like, yeah, I don't know if I can get away with that. And I was like, oh, yeah, because you're a principal now, et cetera, et cetera. You know what I'm saying, Jared?
Are you going to replace me with him?
It's very likely.
All right, with my co-host, Principal John. That would be kind of fucked up.
Principal John! But see, if you're in therapy like me or even physical therapy like Jared, you're a person who knows how to take care of yourself. And as such, you will love our newest and our next sponsor. Today's episode of the Ross Bolen podcast is brought to you by Gravity. Gravity Blanket is the top-rated weighted blanket that helps you fall asleep faster and stay asleep longer. The only blanket proven to improve sleep quality, with 78% of people reporting a better night's sleep when using Gravity. I got one of these last week. I've slept with it every night since. It is magnificent. Glorious. I got a mask, too. They make weighted eye masks.
Can you explain the weightedness of the products?
It makes you feel like someone is hugging you. Or it's extremely comforting and anxiety and like reducing. It's a bizarre feeling. If you're a person who likes a lot of blankets because like it makes you feel more snug, that's the whole idea that Gravity provides with not just their blankets, but with also the mask too. And I have never been a mask boy, sleeping at night. I didn't know honestly, I thought it was like something to do with skincare more than darkness. And it turns out it's extremely beneficial. Like it really does help you get much better sleep. I don't do it every night, but sometimes if I'm like, I really need to get good sleep tonight, I'll throw on the Gravity mask. First of all, the weighted nature of it again. Something about having that like comfortable weight on your face that just feels good, and it makes you sleep so well. Like you sleep like a rock under this thing. It's incredible. Their whole line of sleep products is impeccable, including the weighted eye masks, weighted robes designed to give you a perfect night's rest. All their products promote a deeper, more restorative sleep while decreasing your body's production of stress hormones. Gravity blankets are now available in special technical cooling fabric as well as 100% cotton for summer. So people who are like, I don't know, I don't want to get too hot. Yeah, they got you. You think they haven't thought of this? May is Mental Health Awareness Month. Approximately 60% of users reported Gravity helped reduce overall levels of stress. So for the month of May, they're donating $10 for every blanket sold to the Brain and Behavior Research Foundation. The one and only Gravity blanket uses deep touch pressure stimulation and gives you the sensation of being hugged. Save up to 30% when you purchase the bundle. You can get your mom one for freaking Mother's Day, man.
Ooh. It's like you're hugging her, but you're not there.
Go to gravityblankets.com. Check out the weighted blankets. Check out the sleep masks, the weighted sleep masks, the weighted robes. Use promo code ROSS. Get 15% off your purchase. 15% off your purchase when you use the promo code ROSS, gravityblankets.com, code ROSS, 15% off. They're amazing. Get yourself a blanket, get yourself a mask, gravityblankets.com, code ROSS, 15% off. Mother's Day, savings up to 30% for Mother's Day.
Huge.
Get in there.
A lot of people have been wanting weighted blankets. If you've never done a meditation with Headspace under a weighted blanket, oh, brother.
It just makes the Halo music play in your face.
Yeah.
That's what happens. Jared, did you play sports in high school?
I did.
Just golf?
What? I didn't play golf in high school.
What'd you play?
Tennis.
Tennis?
That's why I'm so good at ping pong.
Did y'all not work out in tennis? Y'all didn't like go to the weight room and like do iron?
No, we just hit balls. Okay, also,
For real, though? I didn't know this about tennis. Maybe that's a common thing in tennis.
this is a story you're going to make fun of me for.
That's what I was hoping.
I am the guy who, like, I have to make the excuse about why I only made the team freshman year.
This isn't shocking. I've been gaming with you for years, and you make every excuse possible whenever possible.
Yeah, but, like,
Before the game started, he's bitching about his gun, which gun he's got, playing Warzone. Game hadn't even started yet. He just sets up. Go ahead, Jared.
Follow me on Twitch at SirJBone. So this is like important to note. This is the cornerstone of the entire story.
The cornerstone.
My high school tennis team was one of the best teams in the state.
Okay.
Usually we'd have somebody in singles or doubles who would like win states a lot.
But y'all didn't pump iron.
I didn't. Remember that. I was only on the team for 1 year. Made the team freshman year, right?
That's why you were only on the team for 1 year. But go ahead.
I think I played in 2 or 3 doubles matches all season because we had such good players. They would only play the scrubs after like we'd already won the game, you know,
Right.
because they were so competitive and they were trying to like win states and stuff.
Were you one of the scrubs on the team?
I was one of the scrubs, yeah, but I was a
Because
freshman.
your team was so good.
As a freshman, I was better than most of the other older scrubs. So
Okay.
it was like, at that point, it was pretty much like I had been set up to, by senior year, be like 4 or 5, right?
Okay.
If I kept improving.
Okay.
Now, what happened was, after freshman year, coach goes, you know, I feel bad that all these kids are on the team, these scrubs, and they're not playing that much. I'd rather them free up their time since I know I'm not going to play them that often. So we cut the team down to 10. There's 5 starters and there's 10 people total, right?
Okay.
And that's including people who are playing doubles, people who are like, you know, younger people who they think are better projects than me, who was a sophomore at this point.
Aw.
Coach cuts the team down to 10 from like 20. It comes down to me and another kid. He goes, "Hey Jared, like it's between you and Charlie for the 10th spot."
Was it a fucking live draft?
Oh, he just said come back tomorrow.
Was he like, everybody out here, all right? All
There were
20
tryouts.
Guys, get out here, all 20 girls, everybody out here, all right. Listen up, we're cutting the team in half. We're going to do that now. Let's go. Jeff, you're first. You're fucking out. Steve in the back, get the fuck out. Amy, you're gone. And then you tell me it got down to 2 people, and he was like, well, Jared.
He said, "Come back tomorrow, and I'll have made my decision." And I was like, "Please, coach, please."
Dude, what could he have possibly needed to ponder? Who was the other person?
He was
Was it your fucking identical twin? Like, what are the odds that you and some other dude were so close in skill set that he was like, I really can't decide?
I think he was my age, and he was less mobile, but he had a slightly better forehand.
Okay.
He was definitely less mobile. Like, I was a lot quicker on the court than him.
Okay, so you were more like a Luigi level of mobility in Mario Tennis, and he was more like a
Bowser.
Wario Bowser
He was
level.
Bowser.
Okay, yeah.
Exactly. That's a good way of putting it.
Okay.
He had a little bit of better stroke than me. Don't take that sexually. I wouldn't know about that side of him.
Okay.
But coach came back, and lo and behold, he picked Charlie over me.
Would you
so.
say he was like he was like the Ron Jeremy stroke, more of like a I'm not gonna do this. I'm just not gonna do this. I'm
I
sorry.
respect that.
Backing away from.
So anyways, I played 1 year of tennis in high school, didn't make the team, so after that I just played FIFA, got really, really, really good at FIFA. Now I don't play anymore because they ruined the game with Ultimate Team. Fuck FIFA now.
Fair enough. Speaking of sports, my Houston Rockets are thriving in the post-James Harden era at a whopping 1-9 in their last 10 games, putting them at 15-47 overall for the worst record in the league.
Is that the worst record of all time, pacing?
It is not. In fact, I don't think it's close. But it is textbook tanking for a 52% chance of landing a top 4 pick and holding on to their first round pick. Odds we cannot improve even if we maintain the worst record in the league, just so maybe in 8 years he develops into a generational talent who can eventually leave to form a super team on one of the coasts. And that's if everything works out with the draft and he doesn't just bust like so many high draft picks do because the transition from college to the NBA is goddamn impossible. I miss you so much, James. I miss you so much. Please come back.
I think you're projecting right now.
I miss James Harden.
Do you miss Clint Capella?
Nah, I wish him well. I like Clint a lot, but I don't miss him.
What about Danny Green?
Danny Green was never a Rocket. He was a Spur, though. And I always admired Danny Green. I think he might be in Toronto now. I'm not really sure. But I like Danny Green. I'm a Danny Green guy. Wait, I think he's on the Lakers now.
Maybe.
He may have just won another championship. In fact, I think he did. And the only reason I wouldn't know is if there was an international pandemic and at the same time, all of Houston sports collapsed into a dark pit of misery, causing me to not be able to watch basketball and enjoy it. That's the only reason I would know. And that happened, Jared. It really happened.
I can't name a single person on the Rockets right now.
Who's your favorite NBA team?
Well, I've been to 2 Magic playoff games because that's the closest team to where I grew up.
Orlando.
But I'm a Bucks fan now. Fear the deer, baby. We got Lou Alcindor.
Can you reconsider? Can you be a Magic fan again? I liked the Magic a lot growing up, man.
No, after they traded away Oladipo, I was out. I regret to inform them I'm out.
Okay, it's a weird choice, but like the Magic are historically a cool franchise. You had Shaq and Penny at the same time.
Don't say you. I don't. I'm not a Magic fan. I've been to 2 games.
Come on, Jared. Just be a Maj fan instead of a. Giannis is a tool, dude.
Giannis is not a tool. Why would I want to be a Magic fan when their arena is literally sponsored by a pyramid scheme?
What's their arena?
Amway. It's literally a pyramid scheme. I go, it's clear as day.
Look, man, a seafood restaurant guy bought my franchise, so I don't really know anymore. It's just sports. Don't forget our sports betting sponsor, mybookie.ag, where you can bet on every game the Rockets are going to lose when you use the code RBP.
Fade the Rockets every single game.
Seriously, though, that's probably the move. We probably aren't going to cover. Just a straight-up heads up. Since we talked Rockets, we might as well talk China, because those 2 things are so deeply connected on a psychological level. But first, this episode of RBP is also brought to you by Sunday. Spring is here. Summer's around the corner. It's time to get the lawn on track. And I know the last thing anybody needs is another complicated or toxic lawn product. Sunday isn't that, Jared. It isn't that. Sunday is the best. It's a customized lawn plan that works with nature. You simply go to their website, sunday.com/Ross. You put in your home address. Their free lawn analysis tool takes care of the rest in a matter of seconds. You get everything you need delivered straight to your front door. They use soil and climate data to create a tailored nutrient plan, so you get all the stuff your lawn needs, nothing it doesn't, made with ingredients that you can actually pronounce too, like seaweed, iron, and molasses, so you can grow better and feel better about it. Sunday's a phenomenal company. I've told y'all repeatedly, I didn't know a whole lot about lawn care before we got Sunday as a sponsor, and God, has it been nice to actually be able to do something. All you have to do is simply hook up the stuff they send you onto your hose and spray it across your lawn for 10 minutes, and boom, you're done, and everybody thinks you're a genius and that you know what you're doing, and you don't. All you had to do was go to sunday.com/Ross and get $20 off your custom lawn plan at checkout. Sunday.com. Get Sunday.com. Get Sunday.com/Ross for $20 off your custom lawn plan at checkout. Get Sunday.com/Ross.
I bet you Sunday.com was like one of the first 50 domain names taken.
Sunday, Sunday, Sunday. But seriously, get yourself some Sunday. Make your lawn right this spring. Get Sunday.com/Ross.
And that's Sunday like the day, not like the dessert.
That's very true. Spell it correctly.
Please.
Let's give an update on Chinese censorship.
Please clap.
China has historically not done well with censorship. If in America the issue has become that we somehow have like too much free speech and too much free internet and too much Tucker Carlson, China is on the other end of that extreme censorship spectrum, and just like America, has a moral compass that operates based on Chinese interests first. Chinese interests, it turns out, do not include acknowledging Oscar winners who have previously admitted that the history they were taught in China isn't exactly accurate. And the Chinese history I'm talking about is not like whitewashed American history inaccurate. It's like, I'm talking like instead of even attempting to make it look good, they just simply deleted it altogether. Deleted. Like, that's their strategy. Here, we just lie and like retell the story in a way that like makes the country look good from the new version of it that we want people to see. They don't even fuck with that. They just delete you entirely. This woman won an Oscar, and in China, it's like it didn't happen. Just because at one point she gave an interview where she spoke mildly, like she was mildly critical of the state education and media, which apparently is not a thing you can get away with at all. So from Time Magazine, Chinese state media had initially referred to Zhao as the pride of China, after her Best Director win at the Golden Globes last month. So that's just last month that they're calling her the pride of China. Then this interview from 2013 with the American publication Filmmaker Magazine is unearthed. And in it, Zhao talks about growing up as a teenager in China and referred to it as, quote, a place where there are lies everywhere, end quote, which sparked backlash and reports of censorship on social media sites and critiques of Zhao from social media users in China, and all hell broke loose. And then their two biggest state-run outlets did not carry reports of Zhao's win for, oh my God, which movie?
Nomadland?
Nomadland. Thank you, Jared. I just watched it. What the fuck? At the Academy Awards this past Sunday, which is one of the really weird and interesting things about China is that they're like, it'd be like if the Don at one point had control of the internet and was able to just be like, nope, anything I consider fake news, deleted. That's what they do. Like, for real, though. Like,
Yeah.
You can't Google shit there that you can Google here. You can't.
Ross, I have one crazy thought about censorship that honestly I'm like almost scared to say and put out
Censor
into
me,
the world
Zaddy.
because I feel like it might get censored.
What?
So I'm going to say it really fast and hopefully like the YouTube or like Apple podcast doesn't get it, okay?
Okay.
Okay. So
Wow. What a take. A spicy, hot, disturbing take about censorship. Maybe the most intensely controversial thing ever said on our show. Likely that we will be canceled. In fact, perhaps even shot by Chinese spies in the night.
it was worth saying though.
It was worth saying. I feel like South Park right now. Like, we just did something to change the world and that there's nothing anybody can do to stop it and take it back. You know? Like, this is our show, Jared, and we can say whatever the fuck we want. Nobody can stop us. Those sons of bitches can't stop us.
They can't stop me. You can't censor the Bone Man.
Oh, my God. So, yeah, she made the movie Nomadland, which was awesome, by the way. And it's definitely not a pick-me-up, but I would say it's the realest movie that came out last year. The realest movie by far that came out last year. And it's about a part of America and American culture that doesn't get acknowledged very often. And the irony of it being made by, I mean, this is, technically, I think it was the first person of color to ever win Best Director ever.
Really?
Ever.
Really?
Here.
That's
Yes.
wild. I don't really agree though with you saying it was the most realistic movie from last year. I don't know if you watched Tenet. Time goes forward and backward.
Robert Pattinson.
Was it? What is it? Yet.
In your minute if it's rain yet.
That.
Missy Elliott.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's Tenet in a nutshell.
So what Zhao said is that she moved as a 14-year-old in the 90s to the UK. And she said, quote, "A lot of the info I received when I was younger was not true, and I became very rebellious toward my family and my background. I went to England suddenly and relearned my history. Studying political science in a liberal arts college was a way for me to figure out what is real." And that's a Republican dad's scariest possible words that can come out of your daughter's mouth. Studying political science in a liberal arts college was a way for me to figure out what is real. Arm yourself with information, and I love this. Arm yourself with information, and then challenge that too. And that's one of the things about life that I've found to be extremely important. It's like, not only do you have to unlearn shit you learned, you then have to challenge the new learned stuff because there's definitely flaws. Like, it's not like, oh, I fixed this thing and now I'm good and I can just do the rest of my life and not have to ever think about that thing again. Like, no, not really. I wish, but like not really. You've got to challenge everything you learn and keep challenging the things you learn on top of those things. So just an awesome quote from an incredible director who has not shied away from speaking out, even though, as everyone in Hollywood knows, there's a lot of money to be had there. That's a big audience. And if you fuck with them, they will cancel the shit out of you. You think people get canceled here? You have no idea. Getting canceled in China is a whole nother deal.
Yeah, it's a different kind of cancel culture. It's literally their culture. It's not like cancel culture is its own culture within American culture.
Like, they legit do that, like, in a way that nobody here is even capable of.
Shouts to friend of the show, Daryl Morey, a noted canceled by China guy.
Been canceled hard, Daryl was. Dear friend of RBP. Been on the show before. Google it. It's true. And it's not censored if you're in America. If you Google it in China, you will not find that episode. Dead ass serious.
I mean, I don't even know if you could find our whole podcast.
That's a good question. If you're in China listening right now, I would love to hear from you. And then also, please keep the show to yourself, as if your government gets a hold of it, they will absolutely ban us from your network of internets. Anyway, they're still doing it over there, it turns out. They're still all the way in on being like, you said something that goes against what we've got going on, huh? Yeah, we're not going to tell anybody about that fucking Oscar then. How about that? How would you stick that in your pipe and smoke it? They're like, oh, your GM spoke up against some stuff we got going on over here, huh? Yeah, we're not going to play your team's basketball games on any of the channels here anymore for the billions of fans that were watching before. Go fuck yourselves. Like, they do not care.
Yeah, they're pretty blatant about it.
It's bizarre. Did you know VPN stood for Virtual Private Network?
I might have guessed that, but I didn't know that offhand.
Mm-hmm.
How does this tie in?
Oh, sorry. I was just reading it. Like, basically,
were you reading like a banner ad?
This is involved in the story. People in China were unable to access like the broadcast of the live stream of a live stream event in China for Nomadland. Even through their VPNs, it was blocked for nearly 2 hours. Like, so they go really out of their way, is what I mean. It seems like they go really, really out of their way. Like, you would have to have a member of the Chinese government be like, all right, Tom, now it's your job. You go make sure nobody ever sees Zhao's movie. Like that, you got to go scour the internet, like delete every fucking individual post, like put in the blocks, like.
And that movie has nothing to do with China,
no,
does it?
It's about America's culture being really fucked up, basically. Not really, like in this way is what I mean. It focuses on particularly like Amazon factory workers in like the Midwest or the forgotten areas of the country that you don't even think about, where there's a shit ton of people living. And in this case, under the economic circumstances that are explored in the movie, it's a pretty devastating life. And a lot of people end up living in their cars and sort of as these nomads, and it gets into the community side of it. It's a really cool movie that's like a unique story about American culture that I had never really heard it told before, which is what you're looking for in a film.
Is it gonna
apparently, unless you're China?
Is it gonna make people start being nomads more?
I mean, dude, it made me think of the fact that we knew a dude who went nomad. Like, we worked with a guy who was like, as part of his job at that point, actually, was like, yo, I'll go nomad, do sales on the West Coast. And we were like, okay. And he did that.
And then another guy we used to work with went full nomad for like 2 years. Traveling the world out of like a backpack.
Yeah.
Shouts to him.
Different kind of nomad,
yeah.
That one. But, yes. I think this is probably becoming a more popular thing even among, as we speak. Like,
I have a friend who hiked the PCT, the Pacific Crest Trail, which is from Mexico to Canada. My friend hiked that. It took like 6 months.
It's an interesting thing, man. The more complicated our society gets and the more messy it gets as a result, the more people that are going to exit it.
Yeah.
That's just kind of the way it goes. Like, I mean, I've got boys at this point in my 30s who have made enough money and who've chunked the deuce, pulled the ejector cord, moved into the mountains, and were like, nah, son, not doing this. And I get it. Like, I get it, man. This shit's a pain in the ass. We're not even in China. I can still Google who won the Academy Awards, which is at least, Jared, at least we've got that going for us.
We do.
I know who won the awards, allegedly.
A few times this episode, I've been like, something has come up, and I'm like, damn, I wish I had that on the soundboard. We need to, if you have any ideas for soundboard sound effects for us to have and add to the board.
Oh, we have a soundboard now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Please clap.
I need to add more, though. I hit please clap. I hit this one.
It's a beautiful soundboard.
Back to you, Jared. And then we got this one.
You come in my face, I'm going to fight you.
We need more.
Yeah. One of them is the 6-minute-long speech that came from the last Patreon episode. Don't press that one. But yeah. That's it. That's your Thursday episode. But here's the good news. You have yet another episode coming tomorrow, Friday, which means you'll have one come out Wednesday. You'll have one come out Thursday, and then you'll have one come out Friday, which is 3 days in a row if you're on patreon.com/Ross Bolen podcast, where you can support the show in exchange for an ad-free Friday episode every week. We will be dropping a little bit later tomorrow, just like we dropped a little later on Thursday, just like we dropped a little later on Wednesday this week. Our schedule got wonky towards the beginning of the week, and we appreciate y'all's patience. Obviously, we come out every Monday and Wednesday, given normal scheduling. But tomorrow, we'll make 3 episodes in a row, Jared. Patreon.com/Ross Bolen podcast is where people can hear ad-free RBP exclusively in one place every Friday. Nobody else gets to hear that episode. It's right there on Patreon. Last week, we had the pleasure of having Jeff in town. We played some of that for y'all in a teaser this past most recent episode, the one before this. If you haven't heard it, go listen to the recent episode, the one before this, and you'll hear the teaser for
The boy
what I
I
would say was one of my favorite episodes we've done with Jeffrey and Jared Borislow.
I never actually plugged Jeff. It's my brother. Last show.
Jeffrey.
Follow Jeff at Jeffrey Borislow. Do it, bitch.
Do it.
And also listen to his podcast. It's about movies. It's called Karstcast.
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 Karstcast. You're going to have to spell it now.
Karstcast. He does it with a famous YouTuber, Karsten Runquist.
Oh.
He's his sidekick, much like I'm Ross's sidekick.
Like you said, family of sidekicks. On patreon.com/Ross Bolen podcast, where you can hear that joke come out of Jared's mouth for your in exchange for your support. Also, one of the cool things about Patreon, when you sign up, you will get immediate access to the episode we're referring to from last week, as well as 40 Fridays in a row. So get in there.
Hey, one last thing I want to say, Ross, is thank you to everybody who's been leaving us ratings and reviews on Apple Podcasts.
Oh.
It's been very nice to see. We got stagnant for a while because we didn't ask people. People don't typically do it unless they're asked. Really helps us out, especially when people are like looking to see if they want to subscribe and they see a really good review that's recent. They're like, oh, shit,
look
this
at
show
that.
must be pretty good right now.
Active interest.
I'll read some of the most recent reviews. It's 5 stars from Aquaconer. Yeet, yeet. J-Bone is back. J-Bone. And then like 30 bone emojis. # unleashed. That one's more about me.
True.
Here's a good one. I like this one a lot. From M. Bukovec or Bukovec. I'm not sure which. 5 stars. Must listen. Not a huge podcast person, but love REP. Ross and Jared bounce off each other perfectly, and unlike most podcasts I've tried to get into, neither of their voices bother me. That's a huge compliment in the podcast world.
Bounce off me, Jared.
Boing.
Bounce right off of me, baby. We'll
You
be back,
come in my face, I'm gonna fight you.
We'll be back tomorrow on patreon.com/Ross Bolen podcast. Y'all have a great weekend. Enjoy yourselves and tell somebody about the show this week. Share the show.
Review.
Share the glory of RBP with one of your brethren. Also, rate and review. We would appreciate that too. Thank you. And whoop-de-woo.
Ross Bolen Podcast. You better check.